This is the first time in Chase Elliott's career that he missed the playoffs. This is something that fans haven't seen in a long time, and I'm telling you now, Chase Elliott will be just fine. I've seen a lot of reactions, both from Elliott haters and Elliott fans, either saying, hooray, he's done, or, oh my God, he's done, this is the end of the world, or we need to replace everybody, get rid of everything. And to that, I'm saying, come on. It is one season. Chase Elliott has been on a great roll since his rookie year in 2016, and he was bound to have at least one off year, whether it was by performance or just bad luck happening. And this is something that, like I said, has not happened ever with Chase Elliott and missing the playoffs, and is the first time since 2017 that the most popular driver won't be in the playoffs since Dale Earnhardt Jr. didn't make it back in 2017, though at that point he was kind of a shell of his former self. And the thing about Elliott is just about everything shows he's going to be all right. The stats show that he'll be okay. Even with 29 possible starts, right now he's on track for around 11 top 5s and 15 to 16 top 10 finishes. And neither 11 top 5s or 16 top 10s are career lows for Elliott, meaning that even with missing 7 races, Chase Elliott still put up normal numbers and probably would have had a pretty elite year had he not got injured. I think that injury he had really set everything off tilt a little bit for Elliott. You could tell that the 9 team and Elliott were not about the same as they were last year, and while they had good finishes, they weren't running as well. You add in what happened with Denny Hamlin at Charlotte during the Coke 600, and this team has not been the same since. They need a reset, and I think that comes in the offseason. This is a down year for Elliott, and you know what? As a former Dale Jr. fan, I'm wishing these were Dale's down years, because he had a pretty damn good year. He missed 6 races due to injury, a race due to, again, the Denny Hamlin incident, which I'm just going to say it right now, it kind of is warranted that he missed that. That was pretty bad. But he also ran out of gas at the Glen. Even if he had gained, say, 14 more points in all of those races he missed, he would be able to be in the playoffs this year. Look at the 9 team, with a patchwork of drivers other than Elliott when he was gone, and they are in the Owners' Championship. He would have been just fine. But see, that's a low bar to put Elliott at. Because while I might be critical of Chase Elliott, it's because of how good he is. Chase Elliott is probably, I would say, a top 5 driver of the NASCAR Cup Series today. And if you wanted to disrespect him or say a little lower than that, it's still top 7 or 8. It's clear this man is an elite NASCAR Cup Series driver. And over these 26 races, if you extrapolate the points per race that he had in 19, which is 27.7 points per race, he would be 10th in the overall standings, which would mean he would score playoff points simply off of where he was in the point standings. That's not a bad driver. And again, if that's his bad year, that is an amazing floor to have, because a lot of drivers, even ones who are up there in the championship fight, their bad years with a full season are missing the playoffs or getting bounced in the first round, being around 16th in points all year. Elliott is doing something pretty well, and over his career, he has been pretty damn good too. 18 wins in the previous 5 seasons, 2 to 5 per year, really averaging between 3 and 4 per year. And he won the 2020 championship and had the best overall season a driver had in 2021. What of those says that he is not elite? Even in his years he didn't win, he still was competing. In 2017, had a chance probably to make the Final Four. Didn't end up happening, but you know what? He still was competing even when he wasn't winning. This is just one dip in the road, and people need to look at the bigger picture. He has been one of the top 5 drivers of the sport for the last 5 years, and if this one isn't that, it's okay. He's driving for Hendrick Motorsports. And while it's going to be tough to vie to be the #1 driver again, seeing how Kyle Larson is on this team and William Byron has finally broken out as a Cup Series winner on a regular basis, he is still somebody who could lead just about any team. He's only 27. He'll be 28 heading into 2024, which is really far from the peak of any driver whatsoever. Most drivers peak in their 30s into their 40s. Chase Elliott is far from that. He could easily, in the next 5 or so years, be a driver that was like Kyle Busch at the same age and win 5 to 8 races a year on a regular basis. That is not far out of the question. And even this year, he could end up being the way Tony Stewart was at the end of the 2006 season. If you remember, Tony Stewart missed the playoffs when it was 10 drivers at the time, and he went on to absolutely destroy the playoff field during the 10-race chase for the Cup and really stole the show for the most part away from everybody. He was one of, if not the best performing driver during that 10-race span. And Chase Elliott is probably the best driver to miss in the current playoff format when it comes to how competitive he is during the year. A lot of people say, oh, it'll be a R&D driver. Maybe, but a lot of the time you can also really hit on a good setup doing that. I'm going to say what I've said before. Just ask Greg Sacks. Anyone can hit the right setup as an R&D driver. But let's say it's not. Let's say that next year, Elliott continues the downward trend. He misses the playoffs even though he's in every race, or he makes it, but it's clear the performance is continuing to go down from 2020 and 2021. What happens then? Well, at that point, I think you then do consider the nuclear option with Alan Gustafson, because a lot of drivers would probably kill to have a crew chief like that, and a lot of fans right now are asking for his head. I think that giving him another year would be the right choice, but even if he has a subpar year for Elliott standards, I don't think he should be moved away from the pit box, because these two, while many say they don't, do have chemistry. They won a championship together. They've been consistent together. They've won tons of races together. They have been around each other since the start of Elliott's Cup career, and I don't think that should be changed from a knee-jerk reaction. There needs to be probably shifts in the future at Hendrick Motorsports, but now is not that time. Look in the past when Hendrick Motorsports made a major shift. The last major one between 2010 and 2011. What was the significance of that? Well, at that time, Hendrick Motorsports had an awful year in 2010 outside of Jimmy Johnson's championship. Jeff Gordon, Dale Earnhardt Jr., and Mark Martin didn't win any races, and changes needed to be made. Yes, Alex Bowman's off, and that's probably going to be something else to watch as a factor, but William Byron and Kyle Larson are doing just fine, even if they have bad luck like Larson has, and Elliott could easily join them. I don't think that major changes need to be made because of just one off year. That's the whole tone of this video. Relax, simmer it down, and wait for the next season. It sucks. You're in a position you've never been in, but Chase is safe. He's the most popular driver, and let me tell you, from being a Dale Jr. fan and knowing how much he sucked from halfway through 2008 through to about 2012, he'll be safe. The most popular driver is never in danger, and I don't see Rick Hendrick or Jeff Gordon wanting to get rid of somebody that they've worked on for well over a decade to get to this level because of one bad year. I just got to continue to say this. One bad year. Elliott haters, enjoy this now, because Chase Elliott is going to be back to his winning ways next year. And Elliott fans, I don't know, humble up a little bit or just use this as a way to simmer down. Your driver is going to be a championship contender for years to come. There's not much more I can say about that. So from there, I'm going to pass it on to you and ask, what do you think Chase Elliott will do both the rest of this season and in the future? Let me know down in the comments below. While you're at it, leave a like on this video, share this video, and subscribe to this channel for more great NASCAR content. Thank you so much for all my channel members for your continued support. And until next time, have a good one.